IPVanish is based in the United States, right at the center of the Five Eyes surveillance alliance. So the real question is simple. Does its no logs policy actually protect you, or is it just marketing? Most VPNs don't own their own servers, they rent space in third-party data centers. Think of it like renting an apartment. You have your own lock, but the building manager still holds the master key. But IPVanish claims they do the opposite. They say they own and operate their hardware, which means they control the locks, the cameras, the doors themselves. And that level of control can be a real advantage for privacy. But there's an important detail. That infrastructure still sits on US soil. IPVanish claims a strict no logs policy, meaning it says it doesn't track your browsing activity, traffic, IP addresses, or connection timestamps. And unlike many VPNs that rely only on marketing claims, IPVanish has undergone independent audits, most recently in 2022 and 2025, where outside security firms verified that the service wasn't storing user activity logs. And that kind of third-party validation carries real weight in the industry. On the security side, the core features are all here. AES 256-bit encryption, which is the industry standard for keeping your traffic unreadable, modern protocols like WireGuard for faster, more efficient connections, a kill switch that cuts your internet if the VPN drops, and leak protection to stop your real IP address from slipping through. So from a technical standpoint, IPVanish does the job really well, but jurisdiction still matters a lot here. Again, IPVanish operates from inside the United States, which is part of the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, a group of countries that share surveillance data with each other. Even with a verified no logs policy, users who need maximum anonymity from government scrutiny, like journalists, activists, and whistleblowers, may prefer a provider based outside that legal environment. Also, if you're traveling somewhere that actively blocks VPN traffic, IPVanish isn't the strongest option. We've covered the best alternatives in those situations in a separate guide that I'll link to down below. Now, we of course can't talk about IPVanish without mentioning its past. Back in 2016, under previous ownership, IPVanish handed over user data during a criminal investigation, despite marketing itself as a no-log service at the time, and that remains a serious mark on its history. Now, since then, IPVanish has changed hands. It's now owned by Ziff Davis, a large publicly traded tech media company. The service has updated its infrastructure, rewritten its privacy policies, and undergone multiple independent no-logs audits since that incident in 2016. So the question is whether you believe that they've changed. And honestly, despite everything we've covered today, that's something that each individual user needs to decide for themselves. So here's the bottom line. IPVanish fits best as a power user's US-based VPN. It's fast, runs much of its own hardware, and allows unlimited device connections under one account. For everyday privacy, streaming, gaming, and home use, it does all of that really well. But it does remain a US jurisdiction provider, and that doesn't automatically make it insecure, but users who need maximum anonymity from US authorities may prefer alternatives like ExpressVPN or Proton VPN. If you want to check out the latest IPVanish deal or compare it against our top-ranked VPN, then links for all of that will be down in the description as well. But that's all for this VPN Mentor video. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.